Hey everyone! We're continuing our walkthrough now of SpongeBob Squarepants Battle for Bikini Bottom 15-minute version. This is part 38 of our SpongeBob Squarepants Battle for Bikini Bottom 15-minute version walkthrough. In the last part, we finished up the Rock Bottom Museum, and we're right now in the Trench of Advanced Darkness, about to do a challenge with Sandy. And we collected everything in the Rock Bottom Museum, and you could tell we've been continuing on with Rock Bottom. And we got a few socks, too, in the last video, because, update-wise for this place, we have 2/3 of the artwork, and sock-wise for the game, we have 5/8 of them. So yeah, we'll continue now. And we opened the challenge in the last video, because name-wise, like I said in the last video, you see it's named Lasers Are Fun and Good for You. You see that? That's the one that just opened when Plankton talks with Sandy. So now we'll go on this Texas hook or swing hook and get this value of 4 shiny objects. Now the place most YouTubers miss is right down here. Because see, there's a sock down here, and that could prove to you that that's the last sock in Rock Bottom. And there's also, and you can tell I got a few shiny objects as well as a fodder getting killed. But now you can tell there's also a button down here. So when I push this button like so, when I push the button like so, you could tell a swing hook comes down in order for us to get the spatula named How in Tarnation Do You Get There. And now there's also a blue shiny object. And we'll go up on the trampoline in just a minute. So now, did you hear what Sandy said when we pushed that button? A, what did she say? And B, what does it mean? Tell me as a comment on this video. Both of the parts. So now you can see we're going to come back up here to face a chuck and get a few fodders. Or a couple fodders. So now we'll go over to where you see the 2 duplicatrons are first. And now we'll destroy both of them before we destroy the Tartar. Because remember, like I said in the beginning of the walkthrough, when you destroy duplicatrons, no more robots will come. So now you can tell, even though the duplicatron got me, you saw Fodder killed himself. So now we'll make our way over to where we were last time with the 2 duplicatrons. See, I just defeated the first duplicatron, and I just destroyed the second. I think because of how close I am, I always die. So when we touch the duplicatron, we're also going to touch the button. But we have to be right exactly in between, because there's going to be a cool thing when we do that. You'll see why in just about a minute, if I can get there in time, in that amount of time, what the cool thing is. Okay, so it looks like exactly. So now I'm gonna touch both, because you could tell I touched both the duplicatron and the button to make this laser activate. Now, did you see how fast the laser is going right now? That's only because not all the lasers are pushed. But after what you'll see later on in this video, when we complete the challenge, they'll return back to normal. But the only reason why it's going fast is because, do you see this big laser up here? That's deactivated with its pointed east of me. or actually northeast of me. That laser will activate once we push all 3 buttons, and then it'll make the last part open, which you could tell. You'll find out in just a couple minutes, and then they will deactivate back to their normal form. So now we'll come over here to this chuck one, since that's the more trickier robot to destroy. And now we'll come up here so we can get a better advantage of hitting the chuck. So now you can tell I'm going to get a green shiny object, and you can see, you could read the same number back and forth for shiny objects. Do you see that? So now do you see how this laser is right now? That's what this will look like after making this laser that's actually northeast of me again, or northwest of me this time. After it activates to bring down the next part of the Trench of Advanced Darkness. So now we'll touch the second button. Oh, I get it. Because of this point, when it's touched to the left, that means it's in fast form. But when it goes over to the right like it was originally, that means it's back to normal form. I didn't realize that until now. That's a new experience for me, and I'm actually surprised that that's the way that they use it laser-wise for this challenge. Do you understand why? So now see, you can tell there's another math problem with the shiny objects. Do you see it? So now we'll come over here to this last duplicatron and where these 2 tartars are. So we'll first destroy the duplicatron. And now destroy this far tartar. And then we'll get the one by the laser in just a second, because I'm first touching that Thunder Tiki to destroy those. Now I'm going to get a green shiny object, and now you can tell right here is another piece of artwork. Ow! So now I don't know laser-wise, since we died, if it requires us to push them again. Oh no, it doesn't, thank God. So now we just have to hit this middle one that's north of us. Now, do you hear this sound in the background? Do you hear this sound you can hear right now? That means the lasers are activated. See, you can hear it in the background too. Besides the robots. Which you are hearing right now. Now see, once we defeat this tartar, we'll be above 11,000 shiny objects again. But just for a second, you saw A, we're above 11,000 shiny objects, and B, with the shiny objects now, you could see a math problem. Do you see it? Now see, I started the playing again at exactly the number of socks there are in this place as of minutes on the camera. Did you realize that? So now you can tell this is the last laser. So when I push this button, you could see this laser activates like so. And then this big laser activates and it cuts down the part to the left of the spatula named How in Tarnation Do You Get There? And then, after that, the lasers deactivate. Now, did you see the lever move back over to the right? So now you can tell the buttons have already been pushed, but they always move back over to the right and stay neutral because the cutting with the big laser of the Trench of Advanced Darkness already happened, like just a few seconds ago. And once that cutting has already been done, that'll prove to you that it'll go back to their normal form. So now, when we get on the swing hook, this will be one of our requirements spatula-wise, but we'll trick Plankton and be on the stone where he is, because there was a cool experience that I noticed in my last walkthrough of this. So watch what I mean. I go on the swing hook, be on the
Southern elbow grease can't handle.
Be on the stone where Plankton is, and we're right now standing by where the spatula is collecting-wise. Do you realize that? But more likely the spatula's up here if we reach there in time. But we were standing here, so good thing we were still in the range collecting-wise to get it. Because then the experiment otherwise wouldn't have worked. So now, because we did that, now we're going to come over here to where this swing hook is. Oh gosh, I almost died there. So now I'll kill this jellyfish and now get this big combo. Now see, shiny object wise, you could tell we got 225. And we also got a super ultra mega combo. And you could tell there were Thunder Tikis and Sleepy Sneaks in them in this case. So now I'll collect a couple shiny objects. And now you see, this Texas hook, where you could tell the sock was, where you could tell button-wise the trampoline was in Lasers Are Fun and Good For You, because if you could see that invisible pair of underwear from here, that button is on that platform that's just right there. So now, you could tell there's another yellow shiny object, and right here is the last piece of artwork. Now listen to this sound. Do you know why they did that? So now, did you read what the dialogue said after we collected the last piece of artwork? They spelled her name wrong. It's actually Mrs. Puff without the S on the end of Puffs, because they said it as Puffs, but it's actually Mrs. Puff without that other S. So now you could tell I'm getting the 2 green shiny objects on the platform named for the spatula. How in tarnation do you get there? So now, because we have 2 more spatulas, let me think. Yeah, we'll actually do it like that. So we'll get how in tarnation do you get there? And if we can make it in time, try and reach the try and get the Across the Trench of Advanced Darkness spatula 2. So now we'll get this one and stop the part because I just realized it's at our limit. Now see, a Bombot just got killed. Oh, so you could tell spatula-wise, I forgot to tell you. Did I tell you when we had 26, we were 13/50ths done with the game? If so, good, because I'm not sure if I told you that or not a couple parts ago. But when we had 28 spatulas, you could tell we were 7/25ths done with the game. So now we'll come on this platform that has my age of shiny objects.
Shinier the better.
And stop the part here. And I can't explain what we did in this video because we're out of time. So yeah, that'll end part 38, I believe, and I'll see you guys in part 39.